What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Tay TV. My reaction video for today, I'll be reacting to top 15 bizarre and truly scary plants you never knew existed. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna get straight into this video.
Now, we're going to have terrible luck for the next week. Whether indoor or outdoor, we love to have plants around us. Most of them are not only beautiful, but seem to be harmless. Unfortunately for humans, some of these plants emit chemical defenses that can throw us off guard and have life-threatening effects on us.
Okay.
These are the top 15 bizarre and terrifying plants you never knew existed. Gimpy tree.
Gimpy tree.
Gimpy is notorious for being the most painful tree in the world. Yes, you're
Okay, wow, so this tree, guys, is the most painful tree in the world. So this is my first time ever hearing about this tree, but wow, the most painful.
It has stinging hairs that deliver a potent neurotoxin and sting to the human body. In most cases, the bites are fatal or lead to life-threatening. All you need to do to be affected by this monster is touching the plants. It first starts with a burning sensation, followed by aching joints and swelling under the armpit.
Aching joints? You don't want that.
You remove all the hairs from your skin, because the more it remains, the more toxins would be released into your body. Better still, seek urgent medical help. Doll's eye. The doll's eye is a native to Northeast America. Little wonder only a fraction of the world knows or have seen them. They resemble typical eyeballs or berries. As you walk past them, it feels like these berries are watching your every move with their bulging eyeballs. They're beautiful on the outside, but the effect of getting too close to them is one you should never experience. They're highly poisonous and ripen during summer and stay until frost. When humans come in contact with them, the effect ranges from cardiac arrest or death. Dragon's blood tree.
Dragon's blood tree.
Dragon is one animal that, even though extinct, rings a bell. When a tree is named after a dragon's blood, you know it's out for something serious. The dragon's blood tree got its name from its crimson sap, which resembles blood. This happened. I was a little shocked when Guardio told me about 10 different information leaks with which I had associated accounts, and that was just from one of my email addresses. I changed all of those passwords immediately. You might be surprised when Guardio digs up on you. Add their browser extension. This sap has anti-inflammatory and gastrointestinal properties that are used for numerous household and beauty items. It is also believed that the fluid has mystical properties and is used to enhance spells and ritual magic. It's unclear how this works, but people who know this tree too well have attested to its magical properties. Brain cactus.
Brain cactus.
First off, this tree resembles the human brain. Little wonder it's named after it. There are about 8 varieties of this plant native to Mexico and grow in different shapes and sizes, but all of them point to one form, that of the human brain. The more it matures, the more confused you get as to whether someone had dropped their brains on the floor on the way to work or something. There are no special benefits of this plant, but its resemblance to the human body part makes us stare in amazement. This uniqueness happens when the plant is injured at a young age and cannot grow past the painful experience. It then chooses to grow into a twisted, convoluted shape as we see in this video. Giant hogweed.
Giant hogweed.
The giant hogweed is another plant that you should not fall victim to. They look innocent on the outside, but are far from being so. The sap of this plant can cause nasty blisters, scars, and in rare cases, temporary blindness if you mistakenly rub your eyes after touching it.
A tree can cause temporary blindness.
Into the nucleus of a person's skin cells and bonds with the DNA. This is because the sap contains a toxic chemical known as photosensitizing furanocoumarines. When they come in contact with your skin, they cause a reaction that is extremely sensitive to light. The sting remains for months, and even after it's gone, it leaves a purple scar that reminds you of one of the deadliest days of your life. Since the plant is beautiful, it's left unchanged until it has injured someone. Venus flytrap. The Venus flytrap is also known as the king of predators in the plant world. It has a trapping mechanism that has a mouth. You probably thought only animals could have an active mouth for chewing, right? It also boasts of trigger hairs that sense prey and keep them from escaping. One wonders how it can tell the difference between a catch and a passerby, but it does that effortlessly. The plant can quickly tell the difference between live prey and non-prey like raindrops. It would let smaller prey that are not worth it go while holding on to larger ones since they're worth the energy for digestion. Corpse flower. The corpse flower is part of a group of flowers classified as corpse flowers because they smell like rotten flesh. This putrid odor attracts pollinators like flies and beetles. It's sometimes called the world's largest flower because it's made up of smaller flowers. It's beautiful and attracts plant lovers who want to take pictures of it and show the world. However, you don't want to experience the corpse smell. It may not be something you can put up with. Even a facial covering may not do justice to it.
Yep, if it smells bad, I'm not gonna go near it.
Is that it can further disguise into dead flesh so that it attracts flies and beetles. When these prey get too close, the rest is history. Cuscuta. The Cuscuta is also known as Dragonweed. It poses a threat to other animals in the plant kingdom due to its mode of operation. Cuscuta or strangled hair wraps itself around other plants and inserts itself into their vascular systems. It would detach from the roots and solely depend on the host plant for survival. If you have this plant on your farm, you should do everything to eradicate them. Because of its operation in the forest, it also got other names like witch's hair, devil's ringlet, and devil's gut. All of these descriptions point out to the fact that the devil is out to stifle the life out of anyone it comes in contact with. This feature isn't too far from what Cuscuta does. This spooky plant survives in hot climates with only 4 species native to northern Europe. Bladderwart.
Bladderwart.
This underwater bladderwort works like a vacuum. They're experts when it comes to trapping insects inside. They have one of the most sophisticated trapping mechanisms in the plant kingdom. Bladderworts feed on any unfortunate prey that makes its way into its snapdragon-esque maws. Unlike most carnivorous plants, these ones can survive anywhere, but they prefer floating in fresh water. The next time you're out swimming, don't forget that there could be a bladderwort lurking by. Humongous fungus.
Humongous fungus.
The humongous fungus spreads itself in the American underground in Malheur National Forest. It is a mushroom that has survived through millennia and is considered one of the world's oldest. Burrow came across this wonder in the late 1980s during an experiment, and he involved other scientists in exploring it. During their investigation, they realized it was over 1,500 years old and weighed around 100,000 kilograms. This single plant covers an area of 3.7 square miles and could be expanding. If you ever get to see them in the Oregon woodlands, do not overthink how much land they occupy because more could be growing secretly beneath you. Bleeding tooth fungus.
Bleeding tooth fungus.
Ever imagine what your bleeding tooth looked like? What if I told you that there's a plant that is a replica of a bleeding tooth with a more supernatural undertone to it? Well, we all know that mushrooms are a bit odd-looking and boast of multiple poisonous variants, but they can turn out to be beautiful too in the context of fairy houses. The bleeding tooth fungus may not fit into a typical description of a gross plant, but it surely contributes its fair share of goose pimples on your skin. This is because the plant produces a jammy, gross substance from its pores that resembles blood.
Wow, resembles blood like
Tobacco.
The pores.
I know you're wondering why tobacco makes it to this list. Many experts have argued on the positives of tobacco. We do not dispute that fact. How about the downsides to it? It's not news that all parts of the tobacco plant are incredibly poisonous, especially the leaves. Despite this fact, it continues to be used worldwide. Unfortunately, it results in more than 5 million global deaths yearly. Even though it's not visually scary, ingesting it is one shortcut to the grave. Do you still think tobacco had no business being here? Red tide. The red tide is a bad omen, irrespective of the time it strikes. This tide is a toxic algae that rises from the seafloor and can occur after a bad storm. Whenever these algae receive excessive nutrients, they multiply uncontrollably and suffocate ocean life. They're displeasing to the eyes as it reminds you of the shower scene in Psycho. Aside from the horrors it replays in your head, it also destroys marine life weeks after it shows up on the ocean. You'll start seeing sea animals washed up on beaches and shores. This toxic algae represents everything a fisherman doesn't want to see at sea. Note that not all red tides color the ocean. Some others are disguised so that you don't notice them except for their effects in the surrounding ecosystem. Now it's time for today's best pick.
Best pick.
We chose the Enchantress plant among others thanks to the mimicking skills it uses to attract other insects. It's unique in every sense of the word and keeps our ecosystem diverse. Enchantress plant.
Enchantress plant.
The Enchantress plant is also known as piranha flowers. They're carnivorous plants found throughout the Mario franchise. They're known to eat anything that approaches them. The head of this plant is primarily green or red. Sometimes they parade multiple colors depending on the species. This sneaky creature prefers to live in or around pipes to make it unnoticeable for any unfortunate victim to come by. Only their large head is visible above the ground. One moment they look real, but in another instance, they look like one creature that popped out of a sci-fi movie. Scientists reveal that some species of this plant have animal-like bodies, meaning that they can walk. They also suggest that this plant could be oviparous. Insects who fall victim to their antics are those that get attracted to their feces-like smell during bloom time. Before we move on, I have a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. Just leave a like on the video, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And you'll get 25 years of good luck. Try it. It really works. Locoweed.
Locoweed.
The flowers of Locoweed are also known as Devil's Trumpet or Hell's Snare. Its closest relatives are tomatoes, eggplant, tobacco, and peppers. This plant is notorious among ranchers and farmers as animals known to eat it end up sick or dead. It's also toxic to the human body. For instance, it's used to produce a drug that makes unsuspecting victims comply with their assailant's demands. The craziest part is that people ingest this to get high. Scientists classify this crop as a deliriant. One effect of taking deliriants is that you are unaware that you have entirely lost touch with reality. The victim is filled with multi-layered fantasies that make it hard for them to return to reality. There you have it. These 15 plants
This is
should be
it for
avoided at
this
all
reaction
costs.
video.
If
Please
you've had
like,
any
share,
experience with them,
comment,
please
and
tell us in the
subscribe
comment
to
box
my
below.
YouTube channel,
Don't
guys.
forget to
I'll
like and
greatly
subscribe to this
appreciate
channel
it.
for more
Again, please
updates.
like,
Till
share,
another scintillating
comment, and
episode,
subscribe to my
stay
channel. Stay
safe.
tuned for my next reaction video. Thank you.